Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to another live stream with me, Ed from Games Tea, and I am joined by three of my wonderful players and friends of mine, playing some D&D and seeing what they can do to throw me off my chain of thought, which is going to be pretty easy to do because that's generally how I operate, to be honest. It is true. As you may notice, we are unfortunately missing three of our players today. We are missing Jeff. Ironically, it's the three who are on the top row today. We are missing Jeff because unfortunately his little one is quite ill, so we do hope it's nothing serious. But do wish the little one all the best and hope that they get better fairly soon. Mm-hmm. Sean is also missing because they are also not feeling too well either. So we do also hope that they feel better and are able to join us soon because we do miss them. And we are missing a Ruben. Who runs the character of Atlas because they are unfortunately preoccupied. They are unable to. The thing that they are preoccupied with means that they can't join us. So we miss them. We hope everything's all right. We hope things are going well. But no, we're missing them. We're missing these guys. But we are joined by Neil from Merchant Diversion, that one Lydia, and a Zelma today, all running our characters and potentially throwing me off my train of thought, which is not exactly going to be difficult to do. Anyways, at the start of these games, obviously, there are some announcements that I have to do. One of those is that I am an affiliate with Fantasy Grounds. So, if you want to buy anything through Fantasy Grounds or find the various different things that you want to do in order to improve your gaming experience in Fantasy Grounds through for the different modules or the different Pathfinders and all that, Pathfinder 2e, and what else do they do? I think they've got Cthulhu on there as well. If you use my link, if you use my affiliate link there, it will not cost you anything. You will not have to pay anything extra, but I will get a tiny little kickback from Fantasy Grounds for the pleasure of promoting them on my stream. And since we use Fantasy Grounds here, why the fuck not? Let's just use them. So yeah, check them out. Also, you can notice a few models around the screen and occasionally appearing underneath me. These have all been made in Heroforge. So many thanks to Heroforge for allowing us to show these models and the artwork that we produce ourselves on stream here. You can also hopefully hear some music going in the background. If the music is obviously a little bit too loud, trying to combine the words low and loud in one word. If the music is too loud or too quiet, please let me know. But it has been provided to us by SiriusGate.com, Tabletop Audio.com, Ian Grimm, Festin Studios, and Alexander Nagrada from Serpent Studios. Many thanks to them for providing us with royalty-free music, which you can have just tripping along in the background, providing some ambience for us as we play our game. And not last but not least, you can influence the game in various different ways by using your channel points for granting a reroll, throwing some sound effects in to distract me, granting advantage, granting inspiration to any one of my players. Let's face it, it's not going to be me, it's going to be my players. I've just accepted it. I will never get anything for you. I'll never get anything. It'll always be on my players who'll get stuff. So, yeah. So you can influence the game in those different ways. And last but not least, I have a YouTube channel where you can catch all the episodes of these guys, the Scarlet Guard, as well as also the Motley Mercenaries on that channel, and catch up on all the various different things and very different shenanigans from the start when I first started streaming D&D. Year ago? 2 years? Year and a half?
A little more than a year.
Yeah, a year and a half, almost 2 years ago now. It's getting on a bit, jeez. It's fun. It's been a while. It has definitely been a while, and I actually really enjoy it. I still love it, and will hopefully, fingers crossed, continue to do so in the future. Talking of that, I am thinking about stuff and working on stuff in the background, so someone else maybe come later on. Anyways, I think that is it for the time being in terms of announcements. So let's jump into the character introductions from my player. Actually, no, I'm not going to do the players first. We're going to do the three characters that we are missing today. Tifari is our noble wizard. He is straight wizard. He does well. Yeah, we'll see about that. But at least he is a wizard. Tifari is a wizard from the Empire of Monobral, and currently guiding via another place his fellow compatriots of the Scarlet Guard to his home to show them what happened to him and why he was the way and how he became the way he is now. But he's our human He is a human noble wizard from the Empire of Brow. Beside him, we have Farrell. Farrell is wonderful. He is beautiful. He is cuddly. He is just
Everything.
he is the sweetest character I have. He's the moral compass of this group. Basically, he is the moral compass of this group. He's got his own trials and tribulations and worries, but he is the sweetest person of this group, and I want to hug him and have him as my best friend. But he's a fictitious character, so I can't. But anyways, he is in my mind. I want to hug him as my best friend. But he's our furball cleric druids. Moving on. There we go. Last but not least of our absentee players is Atlas. Atlas is our typical strong man. He's strong, and he hits hard. Well, he doesn't really hit. He kind of holds. He holds. He grapples. He lifts, and he lifts a lot. Actually, he really is. He lifts a lot. He is the entertainer. He's not the joker of the group, but he's definitely the one that He's the one that asks the questions which are the most simplest to ask and lead to the most complicated answers. He is that. He's also a really lovely guy too.
He lifts spirits as well.
He does lift spirits too. He does. He does lift spirits too. But that's going to be me for now. I'm going to let my players take over. Let's just go from my left to right as according to my screen. That's going to be Neil from Immersion Diversion and Sykes.
Nice. Hi, I am Sykes. I am Neil. I am a Wood Elf Ranger rogue who lived in the Gloaming Forest, or actually on the outskirts of it. Currently searching for my family. Well, ghostly things happen. Traveling together with this group. He's having fun traveling with them, so.
Yay. And in the middle we have our indomitable Lydia, playing an equally indomitable but definitely one who has her issues, Janai.
I think she has way less patience than I do. And she jumps to conclusions a little faster. Janai is a tiefling, raised a fighter by her father in Elderfen, Janai of Elderfen, and she didn't stay there for extremely long. At some point, she decided that due to circumstances that may or may not come up in game and may or may not have come up in game, she had to get the heck out of there. So she's out there now, and there's been a lot of booze and a lot of friends and a lot of laughs and a lot of screaming and running and crying and chopping things and punching ghosts and stuff like that.
Punching ghosts.
It's been one hell of a time. She's found friends, religion, and all sorts of chaos along the way.
Yeah. Religion is fun, especially when you're hurt, especially when you're annoyed. And last but not least, we have Zelma, who runs our very unusual character of Illyria. Can you tell us a little bit more about her for us, please?
Sure. Illyria, yes. Illyria is the failing fighter wizard that I play, hailing from Diana as a city watch, I think they're called, as guards, or...
City Watch, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, cat moment.
The fur tax has been paid.
Yes.
That tag.
Yes. What else? Oh, yes. She met up with these fine folks over in Germany and Fall. Is that correct? Am I
Yes,
correct on
that is correct.
Oh. Yeah. And she discovered a few memories, accidentally made a deal with the devil. Are you going to be on my lap, or are you going to like walk around? What's up with this?
She's part of the campaign now.
It's gonna be a thing. Yeah, we have a cat familiar now.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, before I
Illyria
was
is a
so
wizard.
rudely interrupted, please don't poke holes in my thigh, please. Can you do that? Yes, before I was rudely interrupted, yes, she made a deal with the devil by accident by the wonderful mage who's rather acquainted with, like, 2 other characters, and, well, I say accidentally, and discovered a lot of her memories that she's trying to find her family and whatnot.
Absolutely. And we'll see how far that gets today, as we take that moment to segue and jump into. Look at that, me being professional, and yeah, no, that's not me. Hey, moving on. I quit out of that. Quit out of that statement in the middle of it. We jump into the session today. Our 6 heroes have finally arranged with the captain of Captain. Whose name I've forgotten for some reason. I wanted to say Strongpaw, but that's not correct. But either way, captain of the skyship that they are currently on. Yeah, where's my notes? I will quickly also enter that as well. The captain of the skyship and has agreed to go with this captain to help them to get their skyship to Tramin. Tramin is where the docks are that help repair skyships and build skyships, because this skyship got attacked and got hit very hard by a Sky Terror, as some Sky Charts. So yeah, it needed some repairs. On the way from Vitian, where our characters departed from, they popped by the Isle of Sarai. As the reason why this place is called Sarai, nobody knows. It's just an island called Sarai. And on this island, there was a tower, which our heroes decided to go to, press the button, see what's there. And they did. They went and pressed the button and saw what was there, and got traumatized, because what was there was 4 dead tieflings, 2 of which adults, the other 2 are teenagers. And when our heroes decided to interact with, thank you, Lydia, when our heroes decided to interact with a particular book in this tower, the undead cursed souls of these tieflings rose to defend the tower.
Wait up! That was the book interaction. That was nothing I did.
Yeah, that was
Nothing you did.
Ha! Okay, I feel vindicated. Continue.
It was nothing you did. It was nothing you did. It was just the book.
Okay.
It was just the book. So yeah, a book was toyed with, and that led to the undead souls of these cursed beings being risen to defend the tower. A short battle ensued in which Shania was very, very much traumatized, and I forget what.
Crying on stream.
No, you were crying on stream. And you then gave them it wasn't ultimatum, but you gave them a chance to want to be free. And with a very good persuasion check alongside that, the 2 remaining ghosts allowed themselves to be given rest. This led to some sort of calming, a sense of composure, and a moment to try and figure out what on earth happens and to try and get each other on a level keel. The 4 bodies were found and given a very, very beautiful burial by Sykes, Shania, and Farrell and Illyria. While Tefari and Atlas raided the entire tower. They found another book, as well as also some other items. And at that point, time was ticking on, so decided to leave said tower to its peace and head back to the skyship, where you guys got your long rest. You ended up sleeping in quite a lot. Laka wasn't particularly too happy about that fact, but you ended up sleeping in because you needed to get your long rest in. Let me just give you that long rest, actually, because, guys... No, not initiative. Where's the rest? Here's the rest.
Lyria just had 4 hours, so
Yeah, I know, you... And while that long rest was happening, I believe, Sykes, you stayed up in order to try and keep an eye out for Mr. Bajingles, who did not make an appearance.
That was the previous night.
No, that was also this night as well, I believe.
Vitian. I didn't do that yet.
Oh, you didn't do that yet? Okay. Well, we'll jump into this moment where you've all had a long rest. The crew had got up early and had made preparations in order for the skyship to set sail across the air. towards the city of Chen, their first stopping over point on the way to Tramen. You all wake in various states of tiredness and potential contemplation. What are you guys doing?
Sykes leans up from his sleep and just starts cracking every neck and of his own. He's just one neck, two neck.
Oof.
Just starts cracking.
Yeah.
Morning. Those kind of mornings where you just crack.
Mhm.
It's like, oh.
Yep. Know that feeling.
He just cracks every bone in his body, waking up, getting ready. So we're still on the way to.
You are still on the way. Do you head out on deck?
Yeah.
As you head out on deck, you can see that you are now currently flying over water. You can smell the sea air. You can smell the salt on the breeze. And as you look out, you can see that there are some plants ahead of you along the coast, but beyond that, it's just an expanse of yellow, extending towards the horizon. And at the edge of the horizon, almost a good 100, 200 miles, 200, 300 miles away, you see this sort of expanse of grey that extends, reaches out from the ground upwards towards the sky. Quite some distance away, but it's a sight, shall we say?
I am a bit curious because we're still kind of in the like, I would assume what would be the territory of the Sky Terror. So I kind of sit at the, also like at the front of the ship where I was standing. I kind of closed my mind a bit and just closed my eyes to kind of meditate. And then after the minute, I just opened my eyes to do the ping. And I want to see if I can find the Sky Terror.
You look around. It's not really. We call it a ping, but it's not really.
Yeah.
It's not really a ping. It's more you look around. You make observances. You examine the ground. You examine the world around you.
Yeah.
This is very difficult to do because you're in the middle of the sky, and there isn't really anything tangible to hold on to. There isn't really anything.
Okay.
Anything you can really examine. That being said, to your logic, a creature such as the Sky Terror should leave a wake. It's big, and if it moves through clouds, it should somehow leave this sort of wake behind as it falls, goes through clouds. And you glance up and you realize that even though you are quite high in the air, you are not the height that you were at when you first got on the skyship all those days ago. And you glance up into the sky and you don't see any sign of the Sky Terror or other said large creatures traveling through the air. I would like you to run me a perception check though.
Yeah. There it is. Oh, 13.
Don't see anything in particular. Lots of clouds.
Okay. So you know what? Inspiration.
You gonna use it? Alright.
Yeah.
Go for it.
19.
Team. That's better. As you are looking up into the sky, you start just letting your eyes wander, and just that kind of sort of half unfocused look that you can do when you look down into water, for example, and you suddenly you suddenly see like a shoal of fish just moving through it. You're looking up into the sky, and you could swear that there's a shoal of fish up there.
There's a what?
A shoal of fish. Yes.
A shoal of fish. Okay.
Shoal of fish. Just spinning.
Ooh.
Yeah. Or it scatters up and moves. And you look at you sort of You look around and then look for look for a similar sort of fish, shoal of fish. And you see the same thing, just a slight glimmer up in the air, way far above your head.
Whoa.
It just scatters away.
Well, there's something up there. I'm gonna try to look harder.
You can try and look
I
harder.
don't really have anything that can. I don't really have anything that can make double my eye distance, but unless I don't know. Actually, yeah. If I could see something that, how high would that be? That I could see that.
How high would that be? That's
'Cause I always wonder like how far someone can actually see because like with a longbow they have a long distance of like 600, right?
yeah.
Like how the heck do you even see that far?
How high is this? How high is the sky, basically?
Yeah. I mean, if I could see a school of fish, those fish must be really big.
Or it's just a
Or-
lot of them.
Yeah, true.
It's only because it looked originally like a sort of tiny glimmering ball in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Before you realised that this kind of tiny glimmering ball was just sort of twisting and moving around itself and shaping before just scattering and seemingly just to dissipate in the air above your head.
Okay. I'm gonna keep looking, see if I can see if there's a reason why they're doing that, or if that's just them doing that for no reason.
Roll a nature check.
Oh, come on. 10.
Know why?
Dang it.
Weird flying fish.
Hey, Captain.
Ah!
Do you know
You
about weird...
you see the captain at the helm.
Do you know about weird shoals of fish in the sky? Like glimmer?
I do.
It
Why,
just
do you see one?
Yeah, I see multiples, and they just kind of scatter.
But that's okay. I got the voice wrong, and now I got the correct voice. That's okay. That's normal. The sky is the ocean of Ventulia.
Why are
No,
they
it-
scattering like that? I mean, it just doesn't feel like a natural scatter, you know?
Maybe something
I
scared
mean,
them.
I don't know what. Yeah, true.
No,
I'm wondering if those
the
sharks
sky
out
the
there-
sky is the ocean. The sky is the upper ocean. It's we have ocean down here, and
Yeah,
there are big
true.
things in the ocean. And groups of fish scatter because some predator comes and scatters them, and then
Well, I
same
guess,
thing,
yeah,
huh?
I'm not worried about them coming down then, the predators. I'm just
No, we can't get that high.
curious because I've never seen that before. That's pretty cool.
We can't get that high. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. No problem. Is there anything you need me to do? Otherwise, I'm gonna practice some rope throwing.
Aye, I don't know. You can ask around.
All right. I'll go see if anyone needs help.
As you, Shania, let's go to you. What are you up to?
Oh, not much.
Not much.
No. You'll find that Janai is still passed out in bed clutching a bottle.
Oh,
She's on top of the blankets, and for once she has not taken any of her clothes off.
Completely fair. Illyria, what are you up to?
What's up? It's me, Illyria. How you doing? What's Illyria? I guess she's gonna stay for the usual of trying to learn this sky shit. So
Sure. All right. So you're up with the captain, and trying to learn from the captain, learn the basics of how a skyship operates and what the general responsibilities are of said thing. Roll me an this would be an intelligence check. Roll me an intelligence check.
ooh, I am good at intelligence. Oh, this is a save.
Never say that too
We're not-
loud
we're-
for your roll.
Whoa.
Hey.
22. Nice. You begin to pick up how at least this ship moves, even though she's significantly damaged and very much not performing to her potential. You begin to realize that the shapes of the sails and the angles of the sails and how they pitch and roll and how they catch the wind is the main propulsion of this skyship as it moves through the air. You also realize that there is something extra here as well that keeps the ship up, and the captain is not forthcoming in that. And much as you press him for that knowledge, he does not come forth.
He doesn't tell you.
Doesn't tell you. Sykes.
Mm-hmm.
As you are on deck, and the skyship continues to move across the oceans here, towards what you can now make out the quite grand and vast city of Chen.
Hello
The
there.
city beginning. Hi Rudy, or
Hey,
Rafi,
hi,
I should say. Hi, welcome in. You can see that this city beginning to glimmer and sparkle in the sort of late morning light. The sun beats down upon your backs of your neck. You look out across the vast expanse of the desert, for it can only be a desert, all the way towards the horizon there. Roll me an intelligence check, or a history check, I should say. Roll me a history check.
I rolled that, sorry. But I got a 19.
Mm.
You did. It's my thing. My notes are all over the place. I need. There is. I'm looking for a particular note here, but either ways. Here we go. There's something about the visage in front of you. Something that sparks a memory in your head of a conversation that was had with a couple of friends of Shania long ago, in a tavern in the capital of Fall, when a certain script was translated.
Yeah. Note. I go back to read the note. I would have asked her to write down, obviously, the translation. Just
Sure.
what did it say again? Because I have the note. I just don't think I myself wrote it down. Yeah.
But you have it on you.
I do. Yes.
Okay. Across the sea of dust you must travel to the foot of the mountains of ash. From there you must travel west along that ridge till the sun can be seen through a ravine of night. Even this ravine, you enter this ravine, and you must, and find the black glass that hides the entrance. Enter the mountain, you will find the great hoard, but beware the worm and its servants, for they will protect what's rightfully theirs. As you are reading this, the first line, across the sea of
Wait,
dust.
That was the note from the Dragonborn note, wasn't
That
it?
was the Dragonborn note. That was the map.
Yeah. Okay.
Across the sea of dust.
Gotcha.
Something about that. Mountains of ash? Mountains are not ash.
Yeah.
Mountains have white. Mountain is white. Generally.
I'm gonna go up to the captain, so I'm not just yelling it across deck.
Of course.
Hey, and then Ilaria would be there as well. I would think.
Yeah, you'd find
Yeah.
Illyria there.
Hey, Captain.
Huh?
Have you ever heard of a mountain made of ash?
Mountains of Ash? No. It's no such thing here. Not that I'm aware of.
Kind of. Do you remember Illyria? Do you remember? What?
Let me see. I'm gonna roll a quick history check. If you don't mind, Mr. GM, man. Just to
What's
see
it?
if anything comes up.
Sure.
Decent.
14. You're having the same sorts of thoughts. Something about that first line of that that passage.
There's something about the passage, but that first passage, I got nothing. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It says, and then I kind of repeat to the captain what I have on this note, just
Mhm.
because, just to kind of get him on what we're talking about.
Across the Sea of Dust. But to be honest, the only thing I can think of is the desert. And he
Yeah.
gestures towards the expanse of sand ahead of you.
It says travel west along the ridge, which would mean, and I point the direction of west, which is kind of also towards Tafari's village. Because it'd be up
It
that
could
way.
be.
Travel west along the ridge, sun through the ravine of night. Enter ravine, find the black glass that hides the entrance.
But
Would I know about obsidian?
what would you know about Obsidian? Yeah,
Okay.
I'd say you know about Obsidian because Obsidian is it's one of the forms of it. It was an early form of mirror, and that's the kind of thing that exists in this world. So yeah, I'd say you know about Obsidian.
Captain, does your mountain pass here have an active volcano?
It might. I mean,
Or even just a volcano? It doesn't have to be active, I guess.
it might. The mountains are they're big. They're big, and
Okay. That might
Okay,
have to be something
but
I
this-
find in Chen. See if
it-
there's a...
this is something weird. I don't really
Yeah.
understand it. It's something I assumed would be normal, but I have learned through travels and talking to other captains that this is not normal. But our mountain range here, it doesn't get snow.
Yeah.
Don't really understand why. It just doesn't get snow. It remains grey and
It could
There.
also be the ash that it mentions. It might not just necessarily be the desert. It could be like volcano ash.
could be.
It could mean a lot of things.
That's something I might have to look up in Chen and see if it has a volcano. Or like something like that.
You might have to talk to
Are
one
we
of them.
gonna... Oh,
You
sorry.
might have to talk to them. One of them. She looks at the captain. One of them folks that study land or whatever, I guess. One of them
You mean the
geology
cartographer?
dudes? Yes, one of them.
Do you have one of those on your crew?
Cartographer. We have a navigator. I'm not sure how good a help she is going to be.
I mean, we could always try. What was her name?
Her name is, and I
Oh,
look
it
to
was
my.
your nice friend. That's right.
No, it's not your nice friend.
No.
Oh, it's not? Oh.
No. Her name is Canal.
No.
Canal, yeah. Right now she's downstairs, sobering up.
Okay. Oh, so she's okay. I guess I'll ask the crew where I'd find her.
Oh, don't worry, just head downstairs. Literally, just head here underneath, and
Oh.
he locks the wheel in a position so it doesn't turn. Just leans over the leans over the railing and just points to the double doors that are underneath.
Mm-hmm.
That are underneath the railing here. Yeah, just go down there. First on the left.
Okay. First on the left. Got it.
You're still sobering up. You can kick her out of bed. It's fine.
Oh. Okay. I'll try to be gentle, and I'll go downstairs, find her.
And yes, Lydia, I did make that connection immediately in my head.
It couldn't not.
I know. I was also making it in my head. You head down there, and the doors you get, the doors that he indicated they're a pair of double glass doors. Mm-hmm. And as they swing open, you are greeted with a very, very short corridor in which there are 5 doors, 2 on the left, 2 on the right, and 1 straight ahead. He indicated the first on the left, and as you open the door.
I don't open the door. I knock on the door in case something.
Oh, you knock on the door. Okay, you knock on the door and you hear. What do you hear? You don't hear anything. You just hear.
Canal. I open the door if I can, if it's unlocked.
It's unlocked.
Okay. I slowly open the door so I don't intrude.
Sure, no worries. As you open the door, you know that smell that a room has when somebody has been in there for far too long?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that washes out. That stuffy, unwashed body smell washes out. Not really clean. It's rough. It's rough, and that sort of hits you in your face. You get this sort of, you can almost taste it for how probably filthy it is in here. Yeah. And you look inside the porthole. There is a blind covering the porthole, so no light is very little light actually enters the room. And you look in, and the room's a bit of a mess, to be honest. There's bottles everywhere. There is a pair of boots just on the floor beside the bed. So obviously she took her shoes off before she got into bed. Yeah. But that's the extent to how much how much she removed from her body. As you look around the corner, and you see what appears to be a half elf. If it weren't for the crumpled clothing, her clothing would be she would actually be quite well dressed. But you see this long-haired blonde, sort of blonde long hair that's all of a mess because it's still on the. She's still sleeping basically. Quite sharp features, blue. You don't see her eyes right now. Quite sharp features, and wearing this red and yellow doublet with very baggy sort of cream coloured trousers. And as you look in, you just see her sort of sprawled out on this messy cot, clothing still on, and one arm is over the side of the bunk, holding what looks to be a bottle.
Okay.
Just out. Flat out, fast asleep.
I am gonna go find the bartender.
Sure, you know exactly where the bartender is.
Mister, do you got something that cures, like a hangover cure-all?
The bartender will need one of the tabaxis. Tabaxi is the main sort of species that occupies this boat. But the bartender looks to you as, why, you got a hangover you need to clear?
No, it's for Canal.
Canal. Shit. Did she get into?
She's out cold. I figured if I get her to wake up, she's gonna need it.
Do you want to wake up gently, or do you want to wake up quickly?
Gently. I don't want to piss her off. Gently.
Okay. Hold on. And he heads to where the kitchen is. It's almost a communal kitchen because of how the ship is set up. And he heads to the kitchen, and he starts smelling this very buttery, creamy, sweet smell start to emerge from the kitchen. And very shortly after, he brings out a small plate, upon which appears to be the best description I can give is it looks like a stack of pancakes with a load of maple syrup on top of it. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. But the smell, wow, it's rich. It's a strong, really sweet smell that it's. I mean, you're with your own half elf senses. It's cloying by how sweet this smell is.
You think it'll counteract the smell in a room?
Have you opened the door?
Yes.
How long for?
How long? I think. Like,
Did you
maybe
close the
30
door again
seconds.
after you left, or did you leave it open?
For sure.
But you closed it again.
Yeah.
You might want to leave the door open. You might want to leave the door open for another 5 minutes or so. Let the air circulate.
Get out. All right.
You know,
Good to know.
we have to do that here with the passengers. Even though the passengers say, "Don't open the door. Don't open the door. Provide privacy." Whatever. Have to open the door because otherwise the place stinks.
Yeah, true. All right. Good to know.
Talking of which, that door there, and he points down the corridor.
Yeah.
Sorry, not the corridor. He points to one of the doors in this sort of open space where this is basically where all the passengers would sleep, in sort of small cubicles and pardons. All the doors here are open except that one. And he points to it and he goes, "I think she didn't tell me your name, but you're a horned friend."
Oh, Janae?
Oh, is that her name? Oh, okay. Well, your horned friend is apparently still asleep. She still hasn't opened the door.
I mean, me and Illyria are the only ones that kind of don't really need to sleep for too long. But
But it's almost the early afternoon.
Yeah. She had a rough day. She had a rough day yesterday. But I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
We're almost heading to town anyway, so yeah.
Well,
I need
you'll have to
to-
talk to Captain about that. I'm just busy here cleaning.
Okay. I'll go to I'll go to Janae first with the stack of pancakes, see if that helps wake her up.
They're not really pancakes. It's just that's the best description I can give.
The bread meal.
It's basically a bread, a sort of sweet butter bread, sugar
Honey butter
mess.
bread.
Yeah, bit of butter bread basically.
Bread.
But you head over to the door. Do you knock on the door?
On Janae's door, yeah. Janae,
Ah,
Janae, I know you're still asleep.
I'm asleep.
Are you decent?
Never.
Okay. You cool if I come in? I got something that smells good, and I think you'll like it. These aren't for you, but the bartender could make you some more. I open the door so she can smell it at least, like a crack.
Janae, there's that's the smell of bread, butter, and sweet maple honey wafts into the room.
We can get you some.
1 second, because this could go one of two ways.
I know.
Oh, what? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I hold up. I don't vomit.
Oh.
I was wondering if it was a roll to see if you would vomit or not.
I wasted a 20 on that one, but yes, I managed to keep down the liquor from last night, and you see a bleary-eyed tiefling looking back at you with a glance that doesn't like it basically conveys like that can stay. You gotta leave.
Okay, it's you know, it's like it's. You said early afternoon.
He's getting off at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, it's noon. I know last night was a bit rough, but we're gonna be I can see the city from here. So we're gonna be getting there pretty soon. Also, I need to share something with you.
She puts her head down again, so she's still flat on the bed, but she pats pats the side of the bed, like, sit down.
Okay. I come in, and then I tell her about the note. I say I bring up the whole, like, the ash on the what was it? Well, the across the sea of dust, mountain of ash, travel west along the ridge. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of the desert, and I feel like the mountain ridge, that might be where we find that.
Yeah.
Door of glass, or was it?
Alright. You wanna find
Black glass, yeah.
lizard people?
We might be able to find the one guy. See if he's okay. He
Let's
said he needed help finding his...
Add it to the list. Add it to the list of shit we gotta get done.
I was just gonna go talk to the navigator and see if she knew anything about it, because that's what the captain was saying, but I figured I'd bring it up to you.
Do you need me to come with you?
If you don't want to come, you don't have to. I just thought maybe you'd want to get
goodbye.
Up. Okay, goodbye. I'll leave her be for a while again.
Fair enough. Give me 2 seconds while I just replace my headphones.
Yeah. I just say, just slowly get ready. I mean, we are coming into town pretty soon. If there's anything you wanted to do before we land.
I want to take a piss. And I stumble up. So I'll usher you out of the room.
Just a half-mindedly pisses in the room. No, not there.
She goes to find a corner. No. Yeah. You know where the toilets are.
I'll leave her be. I'm gonna head back to Canal's room.
Canal. Yeah.
Canal.
That's fine. You head to Canal's room and open up the do as the cook has warned you to do. Open the room, let the air out for little bits because whatever. Smelly room. And you just hold out the pancakes. And even in the sound of Canal snoring, there is a
Canal.
I
bought you a brother bed.
One eye just sort of opens blearily. And as one eye opens, you see this really sort of piercing blue eyes, really piercing, beautiful, the almost ice blue iris peers out to you. How are you?
Sykes, been on your ship for a good week.
Oh yeah. What do you want?
I need to ask you something, and we're almost to. Who was it? I know what it is. I have it. Where is it? Oh, there. Chen. I'm gonna pronounce it for everyone. We're almost to Chen.
It's fine. Cap doesn't need me for Chen.
Yeah, but I need to talk to you. That's why I figured I'd gently wake you up, and I brought you these.
Will you go away if you say what you need to say?
Can I leave these butter breads here for you, or do you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put them on the table.
Okay. Fine.
Do you know much about the area around here? Oh,
they Canal sort of sit up. And it's instead of the sort of with the way somebody does and they push up, etc. and try and sit normally, they just kind of swing themselves upwards. The legs go down onto the ground, the upper body goes up, and there's just sort of like looks up at you. Right, yeah, what?
Do you know much about the area down below, like the desert, the mountains?
The desert and the mountains. I know a fair bit. Why?
Do you know anything about I have this note that I found before from a friend.
Give us that plate. Give us that plate. He just gestures over to your plate. Yeah.
Oh,
He just gestures
okay.
over the plate. Give us that plate.
Yeah, I gave her the plate of bread.
He just basically takes the handful and just shoves it into the mouth.
Yeah, I get sticky finger paws like that.
She doesn't care. Unless she
yeah,
chews this sort of the Jimmy, she's all of the remnants of whatever she just shoved into her mouth begins to sort of drip down the sides of her mouth and onto the what would have been a really lovely coloured doublet, but as you're now then looking at it, it's stained.
Mm-hmm.
It's stained. It's dirty. Yeah, it's somebody who doesn't really look after themselves.
Yeah. Then I kind of read the note to them. Does your
yeah, go on.
mountain range have a volcano? Or have you ever heard of a Sea of Dust?
First of all, what sort of codswallop is that bullshit you just read to me? Second, is this an allegory?
Allegory? No. Maybe? I don't know.
Alright.
Third. Yes.
The Dinner Mountain Range, so far as I know, doesn't have any volcanoes. This is getting me to think, what am I thinking at this time in the morning?
Oh, yeah, once again, sorry. It says Mountain of Ash, that's why I was wondering if there was a volcano.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Fine. No, the Dinner Mountain Range doesn't have volcanoes.
Okay.
What it does have are peaks that are grey. They have no snow.
Peaks that are gray with no snow. Oh, like the tops of... Okay. Gotcha.
Right. That's what they have. Your Sea of Dust, if this is an allegory, or word painting, or whatever the fuck that word is, that's going to be the desert. That's going to be Barandesh Desert. Alright? Because sand, when it blows, is dust.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, I feel sick.
The Mountains of Ash would be where they have no snow on the top. But do some of the other mountains ranges, like mountaintops, have snow, or is it like all of it?
Have you ever been here? Is this are you a tourist? You're a tourist, aren't you?
Yes.
No, the Dinar Mountain Range is snowless.
Oh, okay.
The entire mountain range, the whole thing, is snowless.
Oh, yeah, sorry. No, I get that now.
By the way, this is
What
the
is this,
character
travel
being an
west?
asshole, not me.
No, I know.
Can I interject?
Yeah, you can interject. You're not there, but
I
you
think
can
around this
interject.
point in the conversation, enough time has passed that Janai breaks open the door and says, "That bitch stole my bread. She's got my bread. Why are you giving her my bread?"
So Sykes, you can hear somebody yelling from below decks. You can't make out what it is, but somebody's yelling from below decks.
Janai's following her nose. She'll be with you shortly.
And it sounds like Janai.
Uh-oh. I did offer. Well, I told her she could go to the bartender for bread and stuff.
No, it's my bread.
Oh no. Um. Well, thank you. Is there a ravine along the mountain range, or?
Honestly, look, Sykes, was it?
Yeah, Sykes.
I have never traveled the Dinar mountain range.
Okay.
I do not know what's there.
You were.
I don't think any captain has gone across the Dinar mountain range because they're not that fucking stupid. If you, the best people to ask are people who have actually travelled through the few places that might exist along that range. Maybe one of the gnomes. I mean, fuck's sake, they're the ones who brought us the idea of flying ships as it is.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Stumbling
Alright.
in the corridor.
Maybe I'll be able to find something in Chen. So.
Ilaria, you actually see this. Janai has stumbled up from deck. And Janai, as you stumble up, there's that sort of like bleariness of, oh fuck, it's bright out here. And you can feel the heat. I mean, the temperature has been rising steadily as you have been approaching Chen. You can feel the heat. You can also smell the salt air, the salt sea air.
Oh shit! Oh.
You also pick it just by yourself. And there's that sort of like bleariness as you look up. But your nose is telling you for certain. Does she? No. I'm going to make you roll me a perception check. With disadvantage. Because you are pissed.
I'm so fucking stressed.
Pissed.
Advantage is what you said, right? Advantage.
Disadvantage.
Perception. Well, it's a good thing I rolled a 3.
3 or a 4, jeez. Neither are
Where's
great.
my bread?
Adair, you start hearing this, where's my bread? And everybody's beginning to sort of, now, Janai's being loud and not really annoying, but definitely rambunctious.
Larry just sighs, looks at the captain, and goes, you could teach me a little bit later, but let me handle my friend.
Well, I'll let you handle her, otherwise I will have to handle her, and if I have to handle her, it's not going to be nice.
Thank you, Captain. At least you're one of the merciful ones I've been with, in terms of ship-faring ones.
You haven't seen me try not to be. Yet.
And I hope
good luck!
to not... Yeah. Well, thank you for the opportunity of learning about this thing. And she saunters off to... Sinead, you're at the... on
Upper deck, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. She saunters up to Sinead and says, alright, what's going on and why you're being loud?
They go. Sykes was. There was bread, and it was my bread. Okay, he took it to me, and then he left with the bread, and now there's no bread, and there's no Sykes. And, where's my bread, Adelia? Where's my bread? Yeah.
Let's get some bread together. How about
No way.
without Sykes?
Can I have a drink? Do you have a drink? This one's.
I
And I
don't-
start pouring and say, "Oh, it's not empty."
You start pouring. You realize
Now
very
it's
quickly.
empty.
No, it's not empty. No, that was not empty.
Keep
Oh,
going.
okay, I'll
Now
tell
it's empty. Like it wasn't
Please
empty.
lay
but
off
now
the
it's-
alcohol so that your body doesn't
What?
bust.
It's not gonna explode. Well, my head is. Yep.
That's what I mean. Lay off of alcohol and we'll get
But-
some bread together.
It makes it better.
It
Makes it better.
It makes it better.
Makes it better. Bread. Where's my bread?
follow me. I assume whoever Sykes gotten has involved the canteen.
I
You can
taste
assume
my
that, yeah.
eyeballs.
Alright, just
It's good.
if you feel like you're gonna vomit, I'm gonna stay 15 feet away from you.
Okay.
Come on, let's go.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, you lead Shania back. You lead Shania back down to the canteen. sit her down at one of the sort of bench tables that's there. Chat to the cook about trying to get Shania some bread. The bread does eventually come, and it's the same stuff that Sykes sort of wafted in your direction, Shania. And there's a lot of sugar here. There's a lot of sugar, a lot of butter too. And you are just about able to keep it down, because the stuff that you were drinking last night, that was Svern. And Svern is sickly sweet as well. So somehow you've kept that down.
Someone's got a sweet tooth.
Yep.
Oh yeah, she went to the bartender real quick and says, "Do you have a cure-all for alcohol?"
It's not pretty.
She looks at Janae and goes, "I think she needs it."
Are you sure?
Janae's also not looking pretty.
No. But the cafeteria bartender person gives you a very sort of serious look. Are you sure? It is seriously not pretty. Honestly, the sight of somebody ejecting alcohol from every orifice is not a nice sight to look to behold. Are you sure?
Oh Jesus! Oh God! Okay, never mind. I was used to Dial Chatta's cure-all. It doesn't involve that, but sure.
I can whip it up. Doesn't take too long. We have it for occasions like this when...
Hey,
This guy,
Shanae, you
his
wanna...
surface is just great.
She looks at Shanae and goes, "Do you want a cure-all for a headache or sleep at all?"
I want bread.
Oh god.
My head's good.
This is too
I think
real.
it's good. My head's it's on. It's on, and I am fine. Definitely
It's the
don't
horn of the
remember
sheriff.
anything from last night. Bread. It just trails off.
Bread.
How long do you think she's gonna sleep?
The night of the bread.
He looks over your shoulder at Shania. As long as she doesn't keep drinking whatever is in that bottle. But that looks like one of mine. Halfway through the day she'll finally sober up, maybe. Maybe by evening time she'll finally sober up. It won't be pretty, but she'll finally sober up and she'll be as horrible as hell.
I guess she'll have to sleep it off. Give me a cup of water so that she could have something other than alcohol.
Yeah, here you go. Hand you some very lightly flavoured lime water.
Thank you. I hope you didn't deal with my friend here in terms of drinking, so let me just... This. She hands him a gold coin.
Hello. Pleasure. Pleasure. Thank you very much. I mean, the captain pays the wages, but any extra is definitely welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, just keep your path as justful as possible.
Why do you think I work as the canteen, as the cook here? The least stressful part about this ship.
I believe sometimes people that work in the canteen have easier jobs than being a guard.
Different jobs. Wish you luck with your friend.
I'll be babysitting her for the rest of the day, probably.
Hey, babies don't eat bread.
Go ahead and eat your bread, Shania. Here, have some water, alright?
Hey, don't fucking patronize me, okay? She takes her hands, she still puts them in the water, washes her hands.
You're supposed to drink that, Shanae.
Not with all the water. There's bread in there, Mom.
And this conversation continues on as this bickering or it's not really bickering, but definitely the drunken voice of Shanae echoes throughout the canteen. With the very long, suffering Illyria keeping an eye on her. But moving back to Sykes, is there any information that you actually want to get from the Navigator Canal?
I guess, have you been to Chen before?
I've been to Chen once. Not bad city.
Do you know some of the utilities they have there? Like, buildings and stuff?
Well, they've got, here, they've got some things. This is not at all me stalling while I look at my notes.
Yes, the top things on the top of my list are, I guess, library to maybe find out more about the mountains, and then also maybe a alchemist.
Hey, if you want the library, there's a library there. You'll have to find the Rising Sun. I don't know where it is, but the Rising Sun somewhere in there. I mean, the canal has sobered up a bit to at least be able to talk, and it stands up and goes, right, let's get out of here. It's too dark. And she wanders out onto the deck, and as you both wander out on the deck, she goes, yes, I forgot how hot it gets here. And then you hear from above.
I'll use Druidcraft to make a gentle breeze.
Oh, that's lovely.
Cool her down.
Wonderful. Lovely breeze.
Yeah,
You hear from the quarter deck. Canal, you finally decided to return to the land of living. Fuck you, Captain. Yeah. Thought as much.
Official dress.
Get to your job. Aye, Captain. And she begins to wander over to one of the rigging that heads up to the crow's nest.
Do you need any help, Canal? I'm kind of a survivalist myself.
No, I'll be fine. But if you want to join me, you're welcome to.
Yeah, I'll climb up to the.
You both clamber up as you're going. She starts to sort of rail off. Various different things. Is that well? But there's quite a few inns there. If you're looking just to stay the night, it's a few. Well, I of course have never tried one of the gambling dens, but there's some gambling there. I'm definitely not part of the gambling dens. No, not at all. And if some things are not to your pleasure, but you prefer other sorts of pleasure, there's the brothels. But like most places in Dunobral, it's pretty tightly run by the priests. The union. The union tends to keep things under control, supposedly.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yep, we had a.
What are you looking for in particular?
Oh, I mean, not much. I was looking maybe if they had an alchemist shop. I had some stuff on me that I could maybe sell them. Stuff like herbs and whatever that I've got found.
Not really, to be honest. I mean, Chen is basically, well,
Okay.
it has the nickname of Gateway to the West. Things
Gateway to
come.
the west.
Gateway
okay.
to the west, eh? Things that land in the east have to go through Chen to go to west, and things that land in the west have to go through Chen to go to the east.
The middle town. Gotcha.
It is the middle place, yes.
Yeah.
Lots of warehouses, lots of places to store things.
Okay.
Hey, word of
Gotcha.
advice though.
Yep.
If you get approached by somebody wearing a dragon symbol, tell them thank you, no thank you, and move quickly away.
Dragon symbol. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Thank you very much. What do you know about it? Like, what is it,
that's Lydia going. Hell, give us more information.
Yeah.
A dragon symbol. It's the Brotherhood of the Dragon. Supposedly underground people. They supposedly are. Well. The Union is technically the people that run the place, but really they're the ones that run it. If you get approached by one of them, just move on. Don't engage with them. They'll likely want you to smuggle something.
Gotcha. Thank you. I'll be sure to watch out for them.
They're also underground, so it's likely you probably won't see the symbol until too late. So keep your eyes out.
Likely to hide it, kind of. Yeah. Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
And they're smart about it too.
What do they usually ask for? Like, is it just like, do they come up to you and ask for help, or?
Don't know. Don't care.
Okay. I guess we'll find out.
If you ever run into them, yeah. Run away,
And
or just
hopefully we're
walk
not
away.
there for too
Just
long.
say. Generally, if anybody says, "Hey, I would like to acquire your services," unless they provide gold up front and are extremely well dressed, don't trust them. Just tell them thank you and move on. Okay.
Okay.
That's generally
Gotcha.
a good advice.
I mean,
At least for
obviously,
this
because
place.
I think we're gonna just be in Chen for the day, right? Like tomorrow, we're
I
heading
am
out to
presuming so.
Charlotte.
We'll stop here and see what we can get done in terms of minor repairs. It might help.
Yeah.
And if we do actually end up having to have some minor repairs done, it might take a day, maybe a day and a half. But
Okay.
we won't be spending more than 2 days here.
Okay. Just making sure, 'cause, obviously while we're here, maybe I'll not obviously help the Brotherhood of the Dragon, but if we find some quick jobs. But otherwise, I could stay here and help you guys still. So. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much, Canal.
Yeah, no worries. Oh, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
if you see lots of fields of cactus, that's normal.
Okay.
And he should,
In the
and
desert?
she points ahead of you, and as you all have been having these various different conversations, etc. The ship has been has been flying closer and closer and closer towards Chen, to the point that Chen is beginning to sort of really now become into view from over the horizon. And from this height, you can see that the city itself is very much like Vientiane in that it has a central city, and then surrounding fields and pastures around it, which are then also surrounded by a high yellow stone wall. Very similar to Vientiane in its construction. And equally similar to Vientiane, this city in the middle seems to glitter. Same way.
Ooh.
The difference, though, between Vientiane and this place, Vientiane was a clear symbol of opulence, clear symbol of we have lots of wealth and we can do what the fuck we like with it, and overtly making itself opulent and grand to the point of it being overwhelming. This place, seemingly like Vientiane, is also one of wealth. But this is it's wealth that is shown in a way that it doesn't need to be shown. Like you see in the center of this city what seems to be a dome that just sparkles with shades of gold, silver, and bronze, and it just seems to sort of gently shimmer. Not so it does. Your eyes are not blinded the same way they were in Vichian, where you just like, oh my god, there's so much gold here. This just glitters. It glitters like stardust. And you can see that many of the buildings are yellow or whitewashed in various different ways to reflect a lot of the sun's light away from the interior of the buildings. And you can also see that this is a bustling place. This is a bustling town. There are a lot of fires. There's a lot of sort of gentle wisps of smoke that gently rise up into the air, and it's from now that's all you can see. But from this height, you can also see that even though there are lots of pastures surrounding the central city, a lot of these pastures are just cactuses. It's just cactuses all over the place. And what's more, they're all of this very long, tall, yeah, I can't really describe it in any way, but it's the really very, very typical cactus of it being a very, very tall, almost very thickly branched plant with ribs that run down every single side of the cactus, and they're just everywhere, all over the place, all different sort of forms and shapes, but it's all of the same type of cactus.
Does it extend out to the desert still, kind of, or is it just?
No, beyond the walls of the desert, there are still more plants, etc. There you can see vegetation. There's a few trees, but they're not the sort of big, thick, forest-like trees that you came across in the peninsula. These are much more thinner, a lot more sort of far fewer leaves, and the branches are far less thick. They're very, very thin and almost wispy in their structure. But you can see that there is some vegetation, but the vegetation stops a few miles short of the city walls, and they just become sand from that point onwards.
So the cactuses she was talking about are the cactuses in Vidian, or in Chen. Okay.
In Chen, yes, yeah.
Okay. Good to know. I'll just be sure to watch out for them, because obviously if you bump into cactuses, they'll hurt.
Yeah, but the cactuses here, they're also the main produce of this place. So.
Oh.
Yeah, they're.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. If you want to look at them, but look at them with somebody nearby, because otherwise, if you look at them, people might think you're trying to poach or steal.
Got it. Cactus are their main produce. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, they're the main produce.
Okay, good to know. I don't think I was gonna take any cactuses anyway, but it's good to know.
Oh, by the way, as you head down the rigging, if you want to lose some money, there's the Starlight Casino.
Yeah, I think you mentioned the casino before.
Did I? Oh, sorry.
No, maybe.
I must have been still drunk.
I didn't know the name. The Scarlet Casino. Okay.
All right, and you head down. By the time you head down, Illyria, will you have spent the entire time with Janai downstairs, just keeping an eye on her, or would you have eventually got annoyed with Janai and left her to her own devices?
She's going to stick with Shania despite her being unbearable, but she's so used to, I think because of her background and whatnot, she gets to see some of her comrades drunk and whatnot. So this is a minor nuisance to her, but she's not exactly annoyed. But can I, in the middle of it or in the meantime, can Lyria make a little prayer tonight, and just a little prayer?
Patience.
Sure. What are you praying for?
Mainly, what's for this? Mainly,
Patience.
Patience. Was it patience and just safety of her family?
Sure. Roll me a D100.
Oh, I saw that! I saw that! I nearly.
I saw the double zero, yeah, as well. Unfortunately, Nyan appears to be elsewhere today. But you feel comforted, at least by the prayer.
You praying?
Hmm? Oh,
You-
yes, I am.
Yeah? What are you praying about?
She's gonna skip the first part of patience and just say, "I'm praying about my family."
Yeah. I should pray about my family too. This good bread. It reminds me of like when I used to roast bread with Philippe. It was beautiful bread. It was fresh and warm in the mouth. And Philippe was right there. And then he wasn't.
Who's this?
I should pray. I should pray to Philippe.
Who's this? Is it Philip or what?
No, Philippe. Hey, say it
Philip?
with me, okay? Philippe.
Philip.
Philippe. Eh? Alors, we should pray to Philippe for bread. No, wait. Pray to someone else. Pissed off. Lot of wind. I should pray to Ventulia. That's the lady.
Do you try?
Yeah. It's, yep. Clammy hands folded in a drunken prayer to Ventulia, asking for any sort of sign of life from Philippe, to talk to Philippe, to think of Philippe, anything to do with Philippe.
Roll me D100.
With disadvantage.
Watch as she.
There's no
I
disadvantage
I know.
here. You just
I know, I'm just kidding.
hit 100.
It's a joke.
Oh, I was about to say, just watch it if she gets like a natural one on a D100.
Yes.
Kind of.
Hey,
This is one of those times where I kind of want to fudge the dice roll a little bit and just have it happen. But no, I'll go with this. Just the sound of the wind whistling around.
Give me my fucking brother. Fuck.
Who is your
Alright.
brother?
Okay, say his name one more time. Come on, you can do it. 2 syllables. Philippe.
Philip.
Yeah, there you go. I want my brother. I want him back. She won't give him to me. I've been all over the world, and she won't give him to me. It's really stupid.
Someone took away your brother?
Yeah, I think. I don't know. He was gone. He was gone. He was there and he was gone. One day to the next, nobody talks about it. The master is like, I don't know. Gotta shut up about it. Very important. Never talk about Philippe. Fucking 10 years. Fucking hell.
I'm not going to bring up your hopes up, but if we find my brother, Lufus, he may or may not come across your brother. It really depends if he came by Diachetta or somewhere. Well,
Yeah, you've been really nice to me all morning, so I'm gonna try to say this in a nice way, but you're a little stupid sometimes.
I get that a lot.
Yep, cause you know where I'm from. There's no way. There's no way that your brother and my brother are just sitting somewhere drinking tea. No way. He's fucking dead.
So
Probably killed him or experimented on him or some stupid bullshit. No way he left me on purpose. Took him and he's gone.
well, I can't really say much so that I don't offend you, Janae, but you're looking for answers, right?
Yeah, well, looking in the wrong places. Bottle is now empty.
For sure.
How about this? Once I get my situation fixed and do what I can to bring peace in my life, I am willing to go above and beyond. Well, above and beyond to help you as much as possible.
Yeah, but where do you think you're gonna find your family? We're going to this place, yeah. He's gonna be gone. Then what?
Well, regardless if it is gone or not, I had to look at it in the eyes.
Alright.
Face it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
If I don't face it, I will never have my answer.
You wanna look at the place that would make you the saddest person ever.
It'll bring me answers that I want. And
Bring your questions.
it'll bring more questions, but it keeps me moving forward.
Okay.
But if I do find my family,
Yeah.
I am willing to help you in any way I can. We've been through hell and high water together. And I've grown a soft spot for all you folks, albeit it gave me a lot of headaches here and there. But you're one of the first people that kind of called me out on my very, was it justice boner you once called it?
Did I say that? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so you kind of smacked me on the head a little bit. But kind of teach me that I sometimes, people do things that sometimes are right and wrong, but for either good reasons, as long as it's not luck, it's fine. But like I said before, I'll try my best to help you, especially if it is somewhere far off. Remain abroad.
Yeah. And can I braid your hair?
I mean, for parts that aren't transformed, yes, you can.
Wait, can I also try to braid those?
I mean, you can try.
Okay.
And with that, Illyria. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe this. Illyria succeeds the attentions of Shania's very drunken attempts at trying to braid her hair and half tentacles. And I think we'll take that moment as the sky ship enters the airspace around Chen, and the captain begins to make all his general tasks for landing the sky ship nearby Chen, at least. We'll take a break.
Yeah.
Because it's around about that time, and when we join back in, we'll be in Chen for the first time. So, yes, do stick around to see all that bit is. But we'll be taking a break for about 10 to 15 minutes here because I am in need of tea and various other caffeinated drinks. I have just finished my bottle of Club Mate here, and I love Club Mate, so I'm a little bit of an addict when it comes to Club Mate myself. But yes, we're going to be taking a 10 to 15 minute break here. If you are comfortable and already happy with how you are, well, I hope you are generally happy with how you are. But if you are comfortable in terms of how this stream is, there'll be some smooch ads and the accompanying mug of steaming hot tea to keep you company. Otherwise, do the thing that makes you feel comfortable. That means moving around, getting some food, getting some drink, changing your posture. Do the thing that makes you for meal company. Feel more comfortable while we carry on in about 10 to 15 minutes. See you all guys very shortly. Good evening, and welcome back to some more D&D with me and 3. There's only 2 of them right now, but 3 because Lydia will be joining us in a little moment. Wonderful people and friends of mine, throwing shenanigans my way, basically, and making me lose my train of thought. But yes, we are playing
for 2 weeks. He didn't have anyone interrupt him.
Well,
in the joining.
No, yeah, that's true. I've had it for 2 weeks. I've not had anybody disturb me by "Let's go live" thing, and then suddenly start talking. Sean. Nah, I love Sean amazingly. He's fucking hilarious when he does. It's fucking hilarious when he does it. But anyways, yes, no, we are live back with some more D&D and the shenanigans. So, our 6 heroes have been travelling to Tramin as part of an arrangement they have made with the captain of the skyship, Captain Angudi Clawfang, to journey and help the ship get to Tramin so that the ship can be repaired after incurring serious damage due to a sky terror that wanted to have it for itself. They now have just arrived in the bustling gateway town, also known as Chen. Here she is. Let me just go. Boop. Boop. There we go. There's Lydia. The gateway town of Chen, where our heroes have the ship has just landed. The ship has just landed just inside the walls of Chen. I'm guessing Lydia wants to do something. Is that correct?
No,
no, you're just listening. Okay. The ship has landed inside the walls of Chen, as close as possible to the dockyards that would be the skyship tower, where the skyships would normally dock at and would normally be able to get whatever various repairs that is needed. But unfortunately, due to the damage the ship was taken, not been able to quite do that. However, as the captain lands the ship somewhat gently as possible, avoiding as many of the cactuses that occupy much of the surrounding area around the city as possible, the captain calls the crew to the decks, which is also including you, and proclaims, "I've been in contact with the harbour master of the Sky Tower. And we're fortunate. They have some stuffs to help us to repair and potentially get from Chen to Tramin in 1.5 days, not 2.
Ooh.
It would have taken us 2, but might be able to get there in 1.5 days. So, yay! But
Yay.
that means we have to stay here for 2 days.
Ooh, okay.
So,
I mean, that's fine.
enjoy yourselves, crew. The crew come to me for your payments and for offshore leave, of course. Scarlet Guard, you do your thing. You don't get paid for me because we have an arrangement, but you do your thing.
To point out, yes.
Yeah, cool. Come to me if you want shore leave and pay. You know, the thing that you like to spend and waste your own money, you waste your lives away on. Okay, come to me. All right, so dismissed. And there's a lot of hubbub from the crew. Oh yes, great, 2 days off. Yes. From
Scarlet
the crew.
Guard group chat or group
I know.
chat.
Scarlet Guard group chat's cool. The six of you
Whoops.
gathered together to have a chat about what you're gonna do. Basically, the
Alright.
3 of you, because Tefari, Farrell, and Atlas are just there listening.
Yep. So I got some info for this town. There is a so the union is here. You know, the clerics,
Yeah.
the priests, they're here. Just
Yep.
like if you find anyone that's trying to come up to you and ask for help, unless they have money up front, don't accept their help, or don't accept their offer. They're most likely they're called the Brotherhood of the Dragon. Apparently they're like even above the Union. That's what Kanal was telling me.
Who's Canal?
They're like, Kanal's the navigator of the ship.
Wait, do I know Canal? DM, do I know Canal?
No, you do not. You do not know a canal.
I have not yet met Canal.
You've not yet met Canal, no, and nor
Oh,
has Laka told you anything about a person called Canal. So no.
Good reason.
Yeah, she was she's the navigator of the ship. I was asking her about the area,
Alright.
asking her about the mountains. She's told me some stuff about this area. There's a rising. Did she say rising sun?
With regards to what?
A library.
Yes, Rising Sun Library.
Is it the same rising sun as the one that was in fall?
Yes, the same library.
Same name, at least.
Okay. So there's a library here. If you want to know anything, and I'll be spending time looking up about the mountains.
Alright.
The rising sun. If it is a mage's tower, maybe not, because I know you don't like him much. So
Yeah, I prefer to avoid them because I accidentally made
Yeah.
a certain deal with a certain someone long ago.
yeah,
So
I will go check out the rising sun and make sure if it is just a normal library or if it would seem like a mage's tower, then I won't check it out at all. Maybe I'll find out info anywhere elsewhere.
Alright.
There is a this is just something I found out. There's no alchemy place here. But if we are looking to make quick money, there is a casino called the Starlight Casino. I don't know. Don't give me that look, Shanae.
I just...
This
Alright.
is something I found out.
Yeah.
Since we're gonna be here for 2 days, if we want to find any jobs, just otherwise, yeah, just kind of hang out. I know we can find our own stuff to do. We can go together as a group. I was just thinking, like if we want to make some extra money while we're here.
You know you don't make money at casinos, right?
I mean, you can.
You lose money at
You lose money,
casinos.
but you can also get money.
Yeah,
Psych!
That's
You
31
need
gold.
that.
I need something. No, just kidding.
you and your
Psych is-
impulse control go.
We need more magic.
Sykes, you're playing with a dangerous game with Lady Luck, so
Yeah, she's my best friend.
Hey, Farrell's your best friend.
Farrell is my best friend. Okay,
Second.
fine, you're right. She's just a commandant. She's a accomplice. I guess you could say.
So you guys head off.
Sure.
Okay, carry on.
all right. So
Yeah, I mean,
my plan is to go to the library and do a missing just reading on the latest history of what happened. So I'm
Hey.
definitely.
I think we definitely need to find a
hey.
bard too.
Idea.
Yeah.
Well,
What's up, Johnny?
because this place is like really like stick up the butt, you know. Do
Yeah.
you think they have like population registers?
Oh, sorry. I'll bring up something else, but population registers?
Yeah, because like if they write things down, then maybe Illyrian's family is like written down if they're still
Oh,
here.
like a family history
Like
register.
no, like who
Registry.
lives where when kind of thing.
No, I know. Like I think I know what you're talking about. Maybe we can find out what happened to what.
Yeah, you go to the strawberry and find out.
You'll find out what happened to Illyria's hometown of Del Chata.
Well, we're going to see it because Illyria wants to feel.
No, I know, but
feel
we could
sad
also.
and stuff.
Yeah, I know. Last thing, there are cactuses all around town.
Ooh.
That's normal.
What?
The cactus, that over there, and I point to a cactus.
Oh.
You see what looks to be the combination between a tree and a very, very, very tall plant. Like I'm trying to think, like a bulrush.
Oh, it's a plant, right?
That's a plant.
Tell.
I don't think she told me exactly what the plant is. Like, you know, all I know is it just looks prickly and from what
Good
we've
plants?
seen before. I don't know. I've never tried one, but I mean, you know.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
touch
they're-
one.
They don't touch it. If you touch
But-
it, that's actually bad because this main town's import or main source of like produce is the cactus.
Oh,
So if you try to touch it, they might think you're trying to steal it.
oh.
GM man,
And I look to
Oh.
Tafari and
Tell
tell
me.
him to touch every cactus you ever see.
can I make a history check about this
Because
place?
Tafari
Sure,
is obviously-
please roll me a history check.
18.
18. In your time, Illyria, Chen was not really. It was a city. It was a relatively big city, of which the surrounding cities, of which Dial Chada was one of them. My brain just went 5 different places at once just then. Dial Chada was a tributary of this city, so any produce that was produced in the outer towns that surrounded the city in order to feed Chen. Chen itself was just. It was the biggest place that was within a few miles around. It didn't really have anything spectacular to it. I mean, these cactuses, for some reason, always flourished here, even in your time, and that was its main export. And even in your time, you knew of these cactuses. You knew what they were called. They were called Baram Kambala cactus. And you knew that a very, very delicious and very, very drinkable liquor could be produced from these cactuses. It was also a very good source of food for mariners, as actual mariners that went on the sea. There was a very easy way to store water and to store nutrients on board ship, and it never really seemed to rot, or at least it took a really long time for the plant itself to rot while at sea. So that was its main export, and apparently still is the main export of this city.
Gotcha. Leary kind of looks around, goes, "Well, this place has grown a bit. In terms of its farms, these cactus. Believe it or not, these cactus are. Correct me if I'm wrong, GM.
Mhm.
These cactuses are basically made into liquor and a popular dish for sailors, because the plants never really, took a really long time to, rot. And, well, it's number one export. Without these, Chen wouldn't be here.
Mm.
There's juice inside of them.
Yeah, you can eat them.
I'm gonna buy
You
a
can eat 'em?
cactus.
I want to eat a cactus.
Yeah, I'll go and get some cactus.
Ah,
But we can't touch these cactus. We have to buy them.
I will buy them.
I'm
with
going to make
gold.
Yeah.
I'm going to make another history check for Lyria's personal
So far, you
history
can
about
take
this place.
Sure.
I'm gonna stick one in Tafari's pants.
Well,
oh,
well,
that's the secret.
size
Shh.
of that
Like he's standing right there.
He's literally standing right there. He just looks
Yeah.
at you. You know I can hear
yeah,
you, right?
I roll.
That's the first.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that extra check of history is her personal history, like going here and whatnot. So
You could have done. Illyria might have actually visited Chen. There is no reason why not. It was nearby. I mean, in order to you will know this, Illyria. In order to get from Dial Jadar to Chen, it would have taken a day, maybe a day and a half, if you were on foot. It would probably taken a day by camel in order to get to Chen. Day and a half if you were on foot because of the distance and because it's basically along the border of the desert, so very, very hot. It's not too far away.
so I've been here a few times. I do know a very lovely couple. Not sure if they're still around. Hopefully they are still around, because I would absolutely love to try their secret recipe of this cactus. They make some good recipes.
How old were they back then?
They were youngish. They were in their honeymoon phase. I would love to call it.
20s, maybe.
If I remember correctly, one was a taxibani and another one was an. I'm trying to remember. Hold up.
They're good. You just remembered all the important
yes.
ones. You gotta
It
find
was,
them still.
Yes, it was. Oh yeah, it was. Yeah. A
Illyria
dwarf,
begins to trail
I
off.
think. Yeah, a dwarf.
Dwarf?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It was an odd couple, but they were absolutely lovely. Especially that taxibani.
Do you know where they live here?
The what?
Maybe. If they're still around. I mean, this place
You
changed.
can at least go find their house. People don't normally
Again.
move that often. So
Sure, I mean, I could try to find them, but guarantee you they might have moved on. I don't know their names, but
I mean, if
or their
it's what was it,
faces.
70 years later or 50 years later for you?
Somewhere right around that timeline.
Then they might be 80. They could be gone, but they could be alive still.
How old do dwarves?
And then they might remember you. Actually, that is true.
How old?
It's like I think
Is this a Janai question or is this a Lydia question?
Both.
Both. Okay. You can
I think Sykes
roll
would
many.
probably know it because of his.
Sykes would probably know it. Dwarves can live to be the oldest dwarf that, at least to your knowledge, ever lived to be about 500.
All right, and to my knowledge,
I'm going to leave that to you, Lydia, to decide if she would know how long dwarves lived for.
like, do they go like Sykes, and like, do they get all a little?
I'd say you'd know that at least dwarves are not as long lived as elves, but certainly a lot
keep
longer lived
forgetting
than
that-
humans.
I keep forgetting that elves technically only can live up to about 600 years, and here I am at 400 thinking I'm 40.
But that's the thing is that elves in my worlds can actually live to about 1,000 years old.
Oh, Okay,
Yes.
cool. So yeah,
So
all right, sweet.
so Sykes is basically
be-
still middle-aged.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
You're only just growing a bald spot. It's fine.
Yeah, right here.
Pretty much. All right, so
Great.
moving things on. You guys are all going to head into town, right?
Well, I wanted to discuss that.
Okay.
So hey, question from player to DM.
Sure.
We
Tell me.
practiced sort of the art of disguise and some camouflaging. Was that something
I was
that was
going to-
completed, or was that?
You have not completed that. Have you been making a note of how many times that you have practiced that, and how many
Well-
times you were successful?
Well, the ones on stream is just the one time.
Then
And
you have not.
We
You have
haven't
not
played
had
an
any.
awful lot.
Off stream, I've
No, you
trained
have not,
about 20
uh,
times.
No, you have not. You have not. So therefore, you have not practiced that enough to gain proficiency in it. But
Just as a practical question, how often would I practice?
you would need
order
to
to?
have, in order to become proficient in that one thing of just being able to disguise yourself. You would need to practice. You basically need to get 10 successful rolls.
That could take
So,
a while.
So
yeah,
and
Illyria's
I-
not going to.
yeah, it's
Smash.
and what's and it's also a sliding scale. So 10 successful means you basically become proficient in it. And in terms of that disguise kit, that would be disguising yourself, not somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Once you hit the halfway point, the 5 mark,
Mhm.
you would become half proficient. As in, you've gained enough knowledge to be able to at least make a passable effort in it, and then 10 is like, yeah, okay, I've got it. This is how it works. etc.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, we'll figure out the mechanics later. I was just curious about how that evolves. Okay. Cool. Then I will drunkenly inform the group that I am illegal.
Right.
Yeah, because. Well, yeah.
I want to try
As-
something.
It's like if it's buttfuck nowhere, then it's fine. But this not buttfuck nowhere. This
Can
is
I-
somewhere.
As you're having this conversation, Janai, you wouldn't notice this because you're also pissed. Still, a little bit. You're sobering up a bit, but you're still a bit drunk and so not really aware. And I guess the rest of you would at least be aware of this. A tabaxi starts to approach your group. She has beautiful sort of grey-blue fur and big sort of green eyes. And as she approaches, she just taps you on your shoulder, Shania.
Yeah.
It's okay, it's only me.
Hi.
Hey, you okay?
Yeah. And bread.
You're drunk.
Great. I'm now.
He's very drunk.
You're
No.
You're drunk.
I
Miss Horns, you are drunk.
Okay, well, I thought we were going to stick to that one just in the bedroom, but okay.
We're there, right?
Can I? She turns to the rest of you. Can I just borrow your knife for a moment?
Go ahead.
Sure. Yeah.
Illyria goes, go ahead, you two lovebirds.
She sort of shoots you a look that says "shut up," and pulls you aside. As she's looking at you, she says, "Shania, you are really drunk. Get yourself sober at least before you want to head out."
I'm not gonna go out there. Okay, I already said, like, I'm evil. Ooh.
Yeah,
So-
Arrivo, I know. You can't.
You know, they kill me. It's sad. You would have to find someone new to sleep with.
Do you want to go out there?
I mean, yeah, but, like, I can't. His face. Horns. Tail.
Yeah, indeed. Keep your tail underneath your cloak. Remember what we practiced? You can at least do that.
Well, I could already do. I could already do that.
Shut up. And she pulls out of her pack her own disguise kit and starts making you up.
Ooh, that tickles.
Okay, enough. She just gives you a kiss, and just continues to alter your form so that you don't overtly come across as a tiefling. And as when she finishes, she reaches behind you, pulls your hood up over your head, and then just sort of cups your face and says, "You're a sweet. You've given me a lot to think about. Okay, I don't want to lose you just right now. Maybe a few days down the line we'll go somewhere else, but right now." You want to go out there, and I also want you to go and have fun. Okay?
I'll buy you cactus.
You don't need to do that. We have plenty downstairs. If I want to have a piece, I'll just go and get one.
Can we do?
I need to introduce you to the joys of Barankambala.
Oh,
Sweetie, go have fun with your family.
Okay, Laka. Hey, where did you learn how to do all that?
Practice. Gives you a kiss and then turns away.
Wait. I chase after her tail for a bit and give up after a while.
Yeah.
What kisses?
Go have fun!
You're fun. Have you later?
With the friends. You can have fun later.
Is she yelling this so we all can hear it?
Oh, yeah.
There's no subtlety.
There's no subtlety here.
Have you really quick? Have you been to Chen before?
Oh no, she's walked away now.
Oh, dang it!
Who are you
was gonna
talking to,
ask-
Sykes? What are you, drunk?
Ash and I turns back.
Are you drunk?
You see what could only be described as a cat.
Mao.
She looks like a cat. She looks like a tabaxi. Her skin has been coloured to it's like that there's enough makeup in there there's enough makeup on her face to be able to blend the sort of light lilac colour of her fur of her face to give it the impression that she has fur. The nose has been painted to look like a cat's nose. And also painted in a way that if you didn't look too closely, you could easily get away with it. And with her hood up, makes it look like she's got cat ears underneath there. She looks like a tabaxi.
Nice disguise, Janae.
No, but
Hey, who's the new party member?
Oh, I don't think she'll be traveling with us, but she likes the
I was
excitement.
talking about you.
What? Oh, me. I
Yeah.
get it. It's funny.
Well, I mean, Janae, if she ever decides to travel with us, regardless, we always welcome her. Hey, who knows? Maybe if you can find someone to sell her.
So what? I didn't hear that last bit. There was fur in my ear. No, just repeat yourself. Come on.
Alright. Okay. It's just, if you do find someone to settle down with, you can always look.
I'm not for settling down. You know that. Come on. It's fine.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on. You could always have a relationship with someone and traveling. Go to places that you've never gone to before.
Yeah. This is nice, but you know. This not
Didn't you-
that's I'll explain this later when there's one of you.
But we also have KRL back in fall though. Just so you know. What? Okay.
That's
What?
what do you mean? I don't
I mean, you
What do
liked
you-
her, didn't you?
No, I mean, yeah, but as a friend, like, she's just my friend.
Okay. I'll just turn away, smiling.
I'm gonna roll an insight on that, cause why not?
If you want, sure.
I'm
Ah,
giving myself
piss.
severe disadvantage on whatever that check
A
is.
deception or perception check, you can choose.
It's
Wait, what?
Sorry, persuasion, I meant. Ha! Not with a natural one.
You didn't need to roll. No,
no blush is visible through Laka's really good work, but there is a tone of extreme awkwardness that betrays that. Yes, Sykes spotted that right.
It's fine.
Oh, I also spotted, even though I roll like shit.
Yeah, well, no, it's a nat one. I'm a terrible
It's a nat
liar
one,
when it comes
yeah.
to.
Yeah, true.
The whole group spotted
Illyria
it.
just
Everyone
looks
else.
at- There's almost like a group roll of the eyes of yeah, sure.
Illyria just looks at Janae and just smiles at her.
Damn it.
Alright.
Alright.
Let's go find this rising sun first and then decide.
Alright. You head off the
Last
ship and
thing.
head down the nearest alleyway. Heading towards the central city ahead of you. As you step down off the ship, you can see coming towards you a whole train of camels, all pulling what appear to be small sleds, piled high with wood, metal, tools, and all sorts of things that are going to be used to help repair the ship. I think there's another cat that requires a little bit of attention there. But you head down this relatively wide road, and as you are walking, there is just cactuses everywhere. Like, as far as the eye can see, it's just cactus until you start to get approach what appears to be the skyports. It's very, very tall. Do you want to get that cat under control before we continue?
It's
There we
just
go.
Janae
Alright.
as her tabaxi form.
There we go. Alright, sorry about that.
As you are walking down this
Okay.
down this road, you start to approach the really, very, very tall skyport, where you can see several ships are currently just docked. And there is this you can hear it from here, but there's a clatter of a lift that keeps going up and down, heading to the ground and to the port. And as you approach it, the buildings begin to sort of crop up along the sides of the road, and every single one of these buildings that crops up are warehouses. They are some of the doors are open, some of the doors are shut, and this road begins to get more and more and more busy as you are walking down this road with workers and people constantly lining it. Generally, you see people wearing pretty loose-fitting clothing in light colours, designed to keep as much of the heat off as possible, as well as what appear to be quite a few mariners around. Some of whom are coming down from the Sky Tower to spend either an afternoon or a day here in the city of Chen, to relieve themselves and to get some shore leave, as it were, and others are returning, either laughing and carousing or feeling very worse aware of themselves due to either losing too much money or losing too much drink. But either ways, as you're walking through the city, you start to approach what can only be described as a tavern. It is relatively large. There's not a lot. Doesn't appear to be high or tall in any ways, but it is rowdy. And outside, on the sort of sign that's swaying in the wind, you see what appears to be almost like this. It's a figure, except they seem to be made of wind. In a strange way, it's a figure that seems to be made of wind, and it's almost sort of kissing with the hand forward towards whoever looks at this sign. And the name that is emblazoned above on the wall and above the door is Ventulia's Promise. And it is a rowdy place.
Hmm.
Even at this time of the day, which is about the mid-afternoon now. About mid to late afternoon. As
So
you
come back
continue...
here tonight? Oh,
Carry on.
you said this is a bar, right?
It's a bar, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a little gaudy, isn't it? I mean,
Oh,
you want?
gaudy.
I mean, I've been dry for a little while. Do you want me to start? I can start drinking again. That's fine. I
No,
could
I
do with
mean-
the drink. It's no problem.
I mean, not now. I meant we could come back later.
Yeah, maybe.
If
Yeah.
you want to.
You carry
I
on
mean,
down...
let's-
Hmm?
Yeah, do things first. You know.
I mean, we have places to stay. We can stay on the ship still because obviously that's where the crew stays. So we don't have to really pay for inns, but we can still go drinking.
It's not too far a walk away. It's a good... It's...
Yeah.
Well, depends... Alright. It's a good walk away. It's about 15 to 20 minute walk. And that's
Okay.
walking. You're probably talking
Yeah.
about 30 to 40 minutes stumble back
Cool.
from where you are. If
Assuming we
depending on
can find our
how
way
much you
back.
drink. It's far enough away that it's you definitely want to question if you want to spend if you would want to spend the night there or if you'd take the risk and just wander backwards. But you continue along this main road and head into the town itself. And this is where you begin to see the richness of this place. Many of the streets are lined with what appear to be floating orbs, or rather than the typical sort of braziers the braziers or torches that hang in sconces along the walls of the streets. There are just orbs that give off light, or at least seem to want to give off light as you approach. Many of the streets are lined with brick or cobbles that do not hurt your feet as you walk over them. So often if you're walking along a cobble street, you can feel the cobbles digging into underneath your soles. But these are beautifully smooth and very easy to walk on. This place has been invested in, and you can tell that from the buildings, the infrastructure, everything here. It's been invested in, and it also shows itself. It shows the wealth that's been invested in this place without having to openly display it the same way Vitian did. You head further in and come to a square, a bustling square where you can see they're in the middle of market day. And on one side, you see... Well, at one side of the square, you see what appears to be a beautifully red-painted building with lots of very flowing silk curtains that are sort of draped on the outside of the windows, and then the doorway that appears to be open at its present time also appears to have these red sort of silk, almost curtain-like cloth that extends downwards and outwards. It's almost inviting one in. There is no sign, but the doors are open. Doors are open and welcoming. Should you want to enter. Also within this street, you see what you see the sign that's hanging over another tavern, and the sign that is hanging over the tavern is this green-cloaked individual. They have their hood is down. The hood is down so far that the majority of the face is in shadow, except for this smile that you can't quite tell if it's sinister or welcoming. It's that kind of weird, unsure what to make of it. And this hand extends outwards towards the viewer, and you can just see in the palm of the hand a few gold coins are painted onto the sign as well. This is just a full painting, obviously. And above blazoned across it, it's called the King's Palace.
Ooh.
And
Yeah,
there are
that's
plenty of other
expensive.
streets and signs around the place. So, what is it you guys want to do?
I wish to find a sign or
Mhm.
something that shows the way to the rising sun.
Sure. Roll me an investigation check or a survival check, whichever you want.
Yeah.
This is more about you. This is more about the time spent than your inability.
Yeah.
So 24. Fine. Very, 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 very quickly, you are able to find the Rising Sun library. The Rising Sun is very much what you know to be the library. The main sort of library of this of many places, and this is no exception. It is still that same sort of almost Romanesque type building, except it has a lot of the elements of Bunel Brell in it as well. The stone is, instead of it being white, is this very vibrant yellow sandstone, and the archways, instead of sort of being very nice Romanesque, they're still round, but the archway itself seems to be this sort. The archway itself is decorated in white and dark brown bricks that occupy each of the archways. And as you enter, there is a sense of calm, but there is so much marble everywhere. Like, there's just marble everywhere, lining all the walls. There is definite wealth here. And as you enter, you see plenty of grey-robed individuals.
Okay. Before we enter any further, I say, Janae, is this, because it seems like there are mages here. Do you want to come here? We can leave.
No, I think the Rising Sun is a place of religion, not a place of wizardry. They wouldn't allow mages here, remember? This whole place is...
Oh,
they
that's
hate
right.
them.
I thought the Mage Tower and the Rising Sun were the same place. My bad.
No.
Yeah, because I thought the Mage's Tower was a library, not the Rising Sun.
No, I think last time I forget the symbol, but there was a lot of religious iconography going on in the last one as well.
Then yeah, I guess we can search here.
All right. You have to do all the talking though, because I am not risking anything.
All right, I'll walk in and enter first.
Sure. As you walk, as you're walking, you see what appears to be a central desk area. The doors here, unlike the Rising Sun Hegemony, are open and welcoming. It appears to be that people can just walk in and out as needed. And as you walk in, you are struck very quickly by the idea that this place is run by tabaxi. There are tabaxi everywhere. You occasionally it if you excuse this turn of phrase, it becomes spot the non-tabaxian in this place, and you can always treat it like a game. Excuse that turn of phrase. But you do occasionally see elf, a dwarf here, once a human, but appear to be a human, although they were very, very, very far away, a ways back in the library itself. So a little bit unsure about that. But as you approach, you see a tabaxi in grey robes, wearing what appears to be a grey belt around them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're sort of that brown, white, black dapple color that cats have. They have similar fur, brown eyes, and as you approach, he looks up. What can I do for you?
We're looking for your geography section.
Have you been here before?
No, we have not.
Do you require a guide?
I mean, if possible, sure.
Okay. He turns around and tries to catch an eye of one of his colleagues. As he does, and he does so. The colleague approaching is... Sorry, I'm just looking up my monastic orders here because I want to get it right in my head. Because I actually have their colours written down. I can't remember where I wrote them down. Damn it. Anyways, as he approaches, you see a similarly robed, grey robed individual, except the belt that they're wearing this time is green. And as they approach, this tabaxi is just all black fur, black eyes. Just if they were in shadow, they would disappear. Kind of color black.
Yeah.
Almost panther, yes, almost panther-like. Yes. What is it, acolyte? This. It looks towards you. Guest.
Sorry. Yeah.
Wants to go to the geography section. Looks the black fur tabaxi looks across to you. Oh, I didn't know that a half elf would be so learned. Sure, you can follow me.
Full elf, but
My apologies.
Sorry.
Full elf.
no, I'm sorry.
Follow me. Turns on the heel and marches ahead of you.
I made it sound like okay.
Yeah.
I follow.
These guys be dicks. He leads you further. Do you all follow?
No, Illyria's not going to follow. Instead, she goes, well, I'm going to separate. Do you have a history section, by chance?
I used to, so you're staying by the entranceway. By the
Yeah.
reception desk. Sure. We do. Do you also require a guide? Or you just need directions?
Give me directions.
Fine. You head down the corridor there to the left. Head down the corridor there. Turn left 5 bookshelves in. Turn right down the second corridor, and then it's the second bookshelf on your left.
All right, thank you. And Illyria does that.
Okay, fair enough. Shania, did you follow Sykes?
Yes.
Oh, right. All right. Well, let's stick with Sykes and Shania for the moment. You're led by this tabaxi to the geography section, and the black fur tabaxi turns to you both. This is the geography section, Master Elf. Are you looking for anything in particular, or can I return to my duties?
You can return to your duties. Thank you very much.
Good. Don't mess anything up. And they turn towards you, Shania. You can keep an eye on the elf, correct?
I will.
Good.
Oh,
And just marches off.
one more thing.
Yes.
Do you keep track of population here? Families, family trees, where they live?
We have birth certificates and death certificates. We do not have a census, if that is what you're
That's
referring
okay.
to.
It will do.
You want to troll through the birth certificates and death certificates of this entire nation.
Nobody really wants to do that now, do they? But you have some.
Should I just roll me a general deception check for me, please, here?
I guess that's
Oh,
a good.
no.
You gain advantage because of the fact that you are disguised as a tabaxi.
I don't have a good feeling about this, you guys. My last deception was a natty one.
That
But you have
means it won't
advantage.
be an empty
Yes, I do.
one. That
Okay,
will
well.
be nice,
No.
nice.
Throw away the 5.
This is just a general deception check. It's more about your demeanor and how you're coming across. Oh well, they can. Do you know where it is?
Remind me again of the direction.
No, nobody. Follow me. I'll show you. You get the feeling that they are much more open to you because you look like a fucking tabaxi.
I'll come find you.
All right, but someone needs to look after this guy, so I'll go back to this guy in a bit.
Sure. I mean, to be honest, I'm quite surprised there's an elf here anyway. I thought elves were all dumb.
I thought he could. I'm surprised he can read. Let's go.
What?
So,
Surprised
Sykes,
he can't read.
as you are here in the geography station, what are you looking for in particular? Sykes.
Oh, Information on the mountains, information on the desert, if there's a volcano.
All right,
nearby.
roll me an investigation check. As you are looking through this section. And again, this is more about time rather than your inability to do so.
Yeah, 19.
19. It takes you a good hour to even start going through this section. And the reason being is because this section of the library is a jumble of scrolls, maps, and books, and they're all not particularly well ordered. As you pull one scroll out, you open it up, and it's just a full map of the Bunelbral Empire with all the various different parts of it. He's like, oh no, that's not what you want. You put it back where it was, and you pull out another scroll from that bit, and it shows you Shassatin for some strange reason. You don't know why. So you roll that back up and put it away, and you pull out another one, and it shows you a map of another continent. It's very disorganized, this place.
Yeah.
But eventually you do. Yeah.
Yes,
Carry
I
on.
also would be looking for something about maybe a ravine by the mountains. So maybe like more of the mountains kind of thing.
Yeah, of course, that's fine.
Yeah. Yep.
But it does take you at least an hour to even begin to start to piece the things together. And the things that you begin to piece together is that the Barandesh desert is in the world of Manantar only about 2,000 years old.
Ooh.
Which, when you begin to think about it, seems to indicate that before the calamity or the folly of the misguided, whichever belief you feel it is, the desert of Barandesh was something else. What it was, you don't know. There are no records of that, but the desert was created around about that time. The mountains are older, much older, and every record you've found of it indicates that they have never had a foot of snow on them ever. As to them being volcanic or anything, there doesn't appear to be any proof of it, nor have there been any written expeditions into the mountain range and along the mountain range itself to prove or disprove the idea of there being volcanoes within the mountain range itself. The only thing that you really get is the fact that this mountain range has never had any snow on it.
What about anything about a ravine?
There are, in the information that you have, okay, I now have to ask you this: Are you going to spend more time here or not?
Yes.
You're going to spend more time. Okay. Then this takes you longer. This takes you another hour to find. There are 3 passageways through the mountains themselves. They are extremely treacherous, and the nearest, most accessible one is nearby a very familiar name to you. Excuse me while I just look up the name.
Yep, I'm just writing this down too.
This ravine, or passageway through the mountains itself, is nearby a little village called Bahut Sunda Bengalin.
Ah,
That is the closest and most easily accessible one. There is another passageway. There is another ravine that is more treacherous. And is located far to the north east. I had to do the compass in my head. Far to the northeast of Bunelbrouw. And the third one is roughly halfway between the two. However, it is basically inaccessible because the only way to access it would be to literally cross the desert of Barandesh. and all the evidence that you have gathered from the desert of Barandesh, it's basically death to do that.
Yeah.
At least according to the written evidence that you have.
Where I'm seeing this, where they're kind of saying, is there like a map that kind of represents where those ravines are?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I
there
will
is.
mark them on the map that I have too.
Sure.
I pull out my map and I make like X's where they are.
I will make a note of those ravines on the in the the Manitar map. There you go.
Yeah.
So you can note them.
Let's just.
Cool.
I was kind of hoping for that. I'm like, hell yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
There you go.
All right, sweet. That's
Tush
what
and
I
I.
can look for.
The Tabaxi who's leading you, they're basically making light conversation here, and just start nattering to you, asking you questions. So, do recognize you? Where are you from? Are you from the north? Are you from the east?
Oh, a little while from here. More westerly.
Oh.
Well,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, that's good to know. What is it like? What's it like out there west? I heard it was quite
Oh,
rough.
Vidyan is tough. It's Vidyan's all right. It's all right. It's you gotta look out for the peasants in general, but yeah, it's all right. It's expensive living, I must say.
Yeah,
I'm hoping to do a bit of business here and maybe travel ahead. Any place you can recommend?
Here in Chen itself.
Oh, sure, but I'm traveling further. Well, any direction really. I'm still sort of trying to find.
But to be honest, if you're really looking for actual, living, actually really beginning to live, I recommend go east. Go east towards Bunobral and Tramin and Kramin. That's where the good shit is. You don't want to go west.
No.
West is, well, it's not very good out there.
Everything smells.
Yeah, tend to smell. Now you want to go east towards Bunobral. That's where the real living is. I would like to go there myself, but my order keeps me here, so I can't.
We all have our duties.
Hey, and my duty to Lucia is what keeps me here. Anyways, this is the section of the birth and death certificates. Are you looking for anything in particular? Can I help you out in any way?
Oh, I think I'll find it. Thank you very much.
Oh, pleasure, but I will be around. Just give a shout for he says as he tries to remember what his name is. Give a shout for to Santosh. Santosh will be around. Santosh.
Very good.
Guardian Santosh.
Makes
Or at least ask. You can ask one of my colleagues to look for Guardian Santosh.
Notes. All right. I start combing the shelves looking for any sort of categorization system at all.
Roll me an investigation check, please, as you do this. $16.
Nice.
There is a categorization system here. It's crude, but it's at least something. You realize that there are shelves dedicated to death certificates and shelves dedicated to birth certificates very quickly. The categorization system here is dates. That's it. As to who, where, who and where, that doesn't exist. It's just you see a date and you see you pull one certificate out, and it has the birth date of the person and the registered name and the parents, and you put that back. You pull another one out, and it just happens to be later. But the place they were born, etc., completely different. So you realize very quickly that you are going to be spending a lot of time here if you were looking for anything specific.
Right.
You'd think with the library they would actually be quite organized, but apparently this place not.
Well, they let visitors come in and get their grubby little hands all over everything. That's the problem. Um, what?
What?
I will.
What?
I will just sort of start leafing through things like out of random interest to see if I come across anything interesting. But I've given up the great search for miraculously finding any relatives of Valyria here.
Sure. Roll me an investigation check.
Right.
And this will
I think you
be
got
the...
inspiration as well.
I'm
This is
not
true.
I'm using my inspiration for important things, not
I
leafing
use mine on a
through
perception.
This
a
is
system.
yeah.
Well,
The-
there.
a one. Unfortunately, nothing springs out as interesting to you. This is less about the amount of time that you would spend. This is more about you just trying to find anything interesting.
It's boring as balls.
Yeah, it's boring as balls. So I'll let you figure out how much time you want to spend here with a natural one like that.
Are there places to read?
There are places to read.
Do they look comfy?
No, no, they don't. They are the best way I can describe it is it looks like a bench, with a sort of built-in desk to it, but the desk instead of it sort of being sort of a flat table, it's a tilted scribe table, and it's wood. It's not comfortable at all.
I'll lean on it for a little while, just sort of trying to settle my eyesight as I work through the process of sweating out whatever booze is left in my system. And
Oh
I
god,
think
that
like,
hits too close to home. That does.
And like after a solid like 50 minutes of staring at nothing in particular, like the wood grain, I sort of amble back to Sykes to see if he's found any sort of cool hill or something.
Sure.
Cool.
So it's like Janai, as you are gathering all this information, and you've begun to start looking for the ravines in particular. Janai does approach at that point.
Hey, Shanae.
Hey,
I found what I was looking for. So I show her the map and I say, well, there's 3 ravines that help us get through the mountain. There's this one, and there's one right next to Tafari's village.
well that's. Oh, you were looking for a way to get through the mountains.
Well, I mean, that I wasn't particularly looking for that. That was just mentioned in there, and I know at some point we will have to go through to the other side to get to Shastaton. Possibly, but Tafari said there was a way that he knew of that we could easily get to it, and I think that's maybe the path
Yeah,
we might be talking about.
he means this one.
Yeah, he means that one. What I was looking for is, remember this note that I was talking to you about, and I show her the note again. It talks about the ravine with the black glass. One of these ravines will have.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that this morning.
Yeah, one of these ravines will probably have a black glass that hides the entrance into the mountain, the Great Horde.
All right. So we should avoid that question mark.
I mean, we could, but since the guy gave us this note, we could show him, like, if we find his friends or whatever. If we happen to stumble upon it, then they won't necessarily maybe kill us if we have this here.
Right, yes. It's more like a failsafe in case it happens.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking
And that way we can wonder if he found if he's there, we could, because we told him we'd help him find whatever he lost. And
I think we told him that he could have his map back.
Well, that's what
this is. What? We're talking about the same,
Well,
red scaly.
we found, the red scaly guy. I have his scale. I have his red dragon born scales still
put
here.
that away! Put that away! You could have scales in here. You fucking crazy.
I don't know. Anyway, he said that someone took. It wasn't us that took it, because obviously it was. He thought it was us. But the thing that was taken before we even got there, remember? Because we went to go look for something, and they were on edge because something was stolen.
My head hurts. Oh, the horse is back.
The Red Dragonborn thought we stole what he was looking for and attacked us. And then we ended up telling him via the whole situation
Yes,
after tying
yes.
him
No,
up.
I remember that. But they just
Yeah.
wanted the map back, right? He didn't want to. Did he want
I
stuff?
don't know what else was. It wasn't because we had a. Was
They-
it a
they
map
did-
or was
They
was
attacked
something?
They got something from the library, like
Someone else got something from the library. It wasn't the
Roll,
Dragonborn.
Sykes. Roll me a history check, please.
Uh-oh.
Listen, I could look through my
Why?
notes, but it's
Because
way more fun
this
to be
is
drunk.
it. This is all right. It wasn't a high DC.
Okay.
To Sykes. What was stolen from the library in the Rising Sun Library in Fall was the map that the Red
Okay.
Dragon wanted. You made
Yeah.
you didn't make it. You made a deal with him in order to be able to get the map back and return it to him. But when you tried to do that, you found that it had been stolen, and
Okay.
there was nothing you could do about it yourselves. That's
Okay.
when you decided to part ways. He thanked you for your troubles and said if you agree to allow you to look him up, should you happen to be in the vicinity of where he was.
Just in
Okay.
case we're anywhere near his secret lair.
Pretty
Swing by
much.
for a cuppa.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in that case, I figured if we agreed to help him get his map back, if we happen to come across it, we would give it to him. But if we're in the area, we can just look him up, and maybe he's got a lead, and we can help him. If it's tied with us, we can always help him out.
But-
Like
A lead for what?
by his map. If he hasn't found it yet, but he's
Oh,
close.
like that. Well,
Yeah.
I always thought it was stolen by the people he belonged to, but
Well,
hey, we
if
can
it were
look
that,
into that.
if that were the case, I don't think he would have been worried. And if he knew that it was them who stole it, he wouldn't have asked us to.
No, but I think it
Oh.
all happened at this. It doesn't really matter. I don't remember.
Because
Either
I
way, you
don't
were
know.
talking about the ravine. I think that's good.
Yeah. Well, either way, yeah, we have 3 different options to go through the mountain, but this one, and I point at the one that kind of goes over the mountain, is the most dangerous one. So probably not that one.
Okay.
The easiest of access one would be in Pangolin, or near Pangolin.
We have to travel west again, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I keep hearing that's a bad idea around here, but also, I may or may not have inferred that you couldn't breathe, and for that I am sorry, but I
No,
have
you
to
can.
keep up pretenses to be a snobby little swoosher.
I understand.
While this
Alright.
conversation is happening, let's head across to the other side of the library to Illyria.
Yeah.
It's me.
It's you, indeed. What is it you are looking for in particular?
She is looking for info. Look, a bit of history scrolls, books that from the time that she disappeared to now, essentially.
Okay, roll me an investigation check as you were doing this.
I got pretty good at investigation. Hey,
Ooh,
18.
wow.
You
Cool.
had a +7?
yeah.
Heavens.
You've been hiding from us this whole time. No, just
Yeah.
kidding.
So,
You've been snoozing on your snoop.
yeah, you've been snoozing on that.
Yeah.
You very
Quote
quickly.
Ashley Johnson.
Sorry, I just had to reply to a text there. You very quickly are able to find enough information with regards to what happened between. Train of thought. Between the time that you disappeared from Dial Chatter until now. I'm looking at time, trying to figure out what's the best solution here. In short, the war kicked off very, very soon after the attack on Dial Cheddar, and in fact, the attack on Dial Cheddar was used as the catalyst for it. No, and the history is unfortunately written from the viewpoint of victors, and you find a lot that labels the terrorists of Maharashtra launched a horrific attack upon the peoples of Dial Cheddar, destroying it utterly, and thus it was deemed necessary that the glorious Union of Altior step in and try to restore order to this country and bring it back to the semblance of order that it so desperately needed, and words to that effect. It doesn't mention any atrocities that were committed, because history is written by the victors. But you learn that the entirety of the continent was embroiled in a civil war for a good 50 to 70 years, and it was only the arrangement with the gnomes of Sorokan, the ingenious and instrumental use of the skyships, which were employed by the Bunabralian elite, the Union of Altior, to be able to restore order and bring an end to the civil war. Now the country stands in peace and prosperity due to their intervention.
Gotcha. Illyria sighs rather heavily, since Dial Cheddar was basically one of the, I guess, if I want to put this in perspective, one of the many catalysts that happened that kicked everything off. She just looks at one of the history books, closes it, puts it back on its rightful place, and just taking it all in, and just sat there in disbelief that they use that type of stuff to further their cause. And it's just, yeah. And next on her agenda, she's going to, believe it or not, Janae, I'm going to give a shot at finding the birth certificates and whatnot. Because I was about to do that next
Right.
after learning history.
Just looking at the time. Yeah, sure. Just roll me an investigation check for that. And this is about. Are you going to spend time looking, or are you just going to look for something interesting?
For the birth certificates and death certificates, she's specifically looking for a family English.
Yeah, but are you going to spend time doing this?
Yes.
Okay, so this will be about the amount of time you spend instead of whether you're sexual or not. So please roll me your check.
Nice.
23. Okay.
Pretty good.
What are you looking for in particular?
Specifically trying to find her family.
Trying to find her family.
Yes.
You find it takes you a while. In fact, it takes you a long while. Even though you know the dates, that when your children were born and when you were born and when your family was born, you know those dates. There are still hundreds of people that are born and die within that time. So it takes you a good 2 hours to find your family. But you find your family. You find all of their birth certificates, all of them. What you don't find are the death certificates of your children. And you do not find the death certificate of your husband. As to your immediate family, as in your siblings, you do find their death certificates as close as possible. You also still haven't sent me all your details on those, so I don't know much more about that. But you do find a couple of.
For the siblings?
Yes, your siblings.
Oh, I thought I
Illyria's
already
siblings.
sent the info.
Then I will need to double check my info, my notes on that.
Yeah, because there's Belnor and Lufus. So.
Oh, I have their names.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about like the general info. Yeah, I already have them. I thought I sent them to you like a while back, but I
Luthus
could like
and Bellinor, yes,
revise
I
it.
remember. Well, you do find the death certificates of Luthus and Bellinor. Unfortunately, they have subsequently perished. You find that it was no, not Luthus. It was Bellinor who was the nutty one, wasn't it?
Yeah, the
Yes.
insane one.
Yeah, Bellinor you find was killed. This was due to the fact that they were deemed by the Union to be unsafe and practicing magics that were deemed to be against the church and the wishes of the god Supreme Altior, and thus subsequently put to the sword. Luthis, you do find was also killed, but they were killed in battle. And they were killed in action, fighting against the terrorists of Maharashtra.
What about Illyria's mother?
You do not find her certificate.
Okay, but she does. I think I remember. Yeah, she also looked for her grandmother, who's no longer alive. She does find her death certificate as well.
Yeah, no. It's more to do with you do not find the death certificates of any of your children, your husband, or your mother.
Does she find her own?
She kind of, yeah. I think she would find her own as well. Just missing 100 years and yet never put on the death certificate. She's just like, why? Like none of this is just making sense. Is she trying to put the pieces together? Balnor disappeared. She didn't know where he went. All she knows is the death certificate. Lufus is probably around, but she very much doubts the death certificate. As for the rest of her family who's alive, she has a sense of relief, but her husband is the main question, along with her mother.
And that is a question that she's going to have to continue to, that you yourself are going to probably have to ponder, and we are going to have to wait until next week, because time is ticking on. And yeah, we are done for the day. We are done.
Yeah,
Unfortunately. Yeah, lots of fun. I really, oh god. Honestly, the more I keep playing with you guys, the more I feel that 3 hours is just so limiting. How much
I was kidding.
I want
to
Go to 3.
and it's just half of us, and it's like 3 hours. Like I want to keep moving.
Keep going.
I want to keep going. I want to keep playing. But we also have you've also got responsibilities and things and whatnot to.
I don't.
Be dealing with.
I know.
So yeah, I would love to continue playing with you guys, but we also
have responsibilities.
We all have responsibilities in terms of jobs and things like that to do things in the morning. Yeah. Any memorable moments from you guys? Let's just I'll go left to right on my screen like I did earlier. Neil.
When we're on the boat and I was like teasing Janae with the bread. And I was like, oops, I didn't mean to tease her. And I told her there was some, but she's like, Sykes, where's my bread? And I'm like, holy shit, this is great.
Oh shit.
I'm like hearing her, I'm like, uh-oh.
Lydia?
Yeah, the bread was pretty good. I liked a lot of moments. I generally enjoyed like playing drunk for quite a while. And see like the darker version of it in Canal. Yeah, it's just like I like getting like more lore on the world as well. So I'm just like, oh, there's ravines and mountains.
Yes.
Janai
The
couldn't be
moment you
asked,
said you're gonna
but-
add them to your map, and I'm like, hell yes.
Yeah, I don't.
It's like
Shania
unlocking parts.
yeah, Shania herself could not be art. Just like,
No.
oh yeah, okay, cool, great. But
Yeah.
no, I
Holy
get it.
fuck,
Yeah,
yeah.
I get it. So those will be added to the map, so you are able to see it. But there are actually indeed 3 ravines which are traversable.
Nice.
And Illyria or Zelma, memorable moment if you have one.
Memorable moments. Illyria babysitting the drunk Shanae. That was fun.
Your hair is really nicely braided now, by the way.
Yes,
Yeah, we need a new
it's
Heroforge
great.
image for Demont.
Okay. Okay, Mr. GM man, I do have to ask this. How would a set of tentacles be braided?
We will have to find out.
Yes. What else? Man, just I guess everything. Even though it's a show session, we got a lot more done than we think. We
Huh,
found out
This
whole
was not a
bunch
short
of stuff.
session. This was
Yeah,
the
this
same
was
length of
not-
session that we normally have. It just feels
Yeah,
short.
we-
I think
feels-
they meant half the
It
amount
feel-
of people here short.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
it
Small
feels so short, and yet we got a lot of things done.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, law. It's these part. I have to
We
admit
need
that these
more
parts.
lore.
That's the
Yeah, I have to admit these past 2 sessions has been it's basically been lore dump.
yeah.
There are
moment,
also 2
Lord
books
sucker.
that you guys are going to have to read through at some point as well. Anyways, with
Oh,
that
yeah.
we're gonna go
Does Tafari
red.
have those?
Tavari has one, Illyria has the other.
Ah,
Oh.
alright.
Yeah.
To answer Illyria's question, or Zelma's question, I think you braid tentacles the way you braid dreadlocks. Like,
Probably, yeah.
carefully and big bunches.
Let's go and raid somebody today.
Yeah.
Jimmy the
Oh,
Brush
what's
is
that
online.
tail, cat?
Yeah, we're gonna go raid Jimmy again. Jimmy's awesome. And he's
Jimmy.
seems to be, or at least according to this, seems to have a weird thing on face. He's painting Warhammer. That's what he is. Jimmy the Brush, Jimmy and Princess. They're wonderful people. They are lovely individuals. They paint and they show off and chat and show off their painting skills and chat and do all sorts of wonderful things. So go over there, give some loves, give some hugs, give some likes, and all the wonderful stuff I know you guys are capable of doing. We will be back on Sunday. No Kingdom Come Deliverance this week because Saturday I am otherwise occupied singing. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I might be able to get home and stream a little bit, but it won't be very long because I'll have a busy day on Saturday, so we'll have to see about that. Either ways, we'll be back on Sunday with some Motley Mercenaries D&D, where they are following up on some mirrors that are
More mirrors? Yes.
doing something interesting. So yeah, they're following up mirrors. Tune in for that to see what happens there.
Yes. The mirror
Anyways,
quest
guys,
continues.
Do take care of yourselves, love each other, give yourselves big hugs, and we will see you. And we will see you potentially next week, or I will see you in another stream in the future.
Drink
Bye.
responsibly. Bye.
And yes, drink responsibly. Oh, I'm done.
Responsibility.
I'm done.